All right, so I'm going to do some back testing, and what we're going to do is use the on-demand feature here. Hit OK on this. We're going to reset the time. We're going to reset the account. I'm going to actually set the account about 10 minutes prior to open and show you how I would do a watch list creation. Now, this is going to take a minute to buffer. And we're just going to select a random date here. So August 16th, 9:20. So what I'm looking for, first thing I want to do is I want to pull up a watch list that I've created, and it's mostly just minimum volume and price at $10, minimum last price at $10. What I'm going to look at, so we're simulating it's 9:20 pre-market. I want to see where the volume is at right now, and I'm going to go through this list, and I'm going to mark a few things. So we have the 200 period moving average, the 20 period moving average, and the prior day's close right here. Then I also want to know where the high and low were for the last 30 minutes of trading. I'm going to mark that on the chart. So I'm going to put a square from about right here and move it over like this. So like this is a narrowing range. I'm going to look for these stocks that have narrowing ranges. Now I'm simulating a $50,000 account. I don't want any products that are really over $100. XOM, ExxonMobil, we'll go ahead and mark it. This is a narrowing range. So we're going to go ahead and mark even the high from right here, low, and then we're just going to go ahead and actually add these to the list. So I'm going to add them to my stocks to watch list. So again, I'm just selecting a random day, a random market opening day. So here's a good narrowing range on BHP. So for the last 30 minutes of trading, we'll say that was really our high yesterday for the last hour. And like I said, I'm looking at the 200 period moving average, the 20 period moving average, and the close of the day. But then I want to go back 30 minutes and kind of figure out what the high and the low were in relation to that. I'm going to add this to my stocks to watch. And I'm going to do this typically up to about 10 or as many as I want, really. Sono. So this had a narrowing range here with a bounce. And then we've got somewhat of more of a narrowing range here. We'll go ahead and mark, our high and low about right here. Add this to our stocks to watch. Exelon. Now we do have somewhat of an elephant bar that formed prior to closing, but it looks like the bears came back and bit it off just a little bit. So maybe go ahead and mark this. Just watch it on the open here. Add to the stocks to watch. SoFi. This is a narrowing range. Pretty significant too. We will go ahead and mark this just for the hell of it. So on this one, you can see what I did here is I've marked the high of the 200 period moving average, the low of that. We're going to add it to our stocks to watch. Tesla, I'm not going to add. Palantir, we'll go ahead and add this one. So high, low. Stocks to watch. Costco. It's a nice narrow range with a pretty big elephant bar forming. Last 30 minutes. Save there. Add that to the watch list. Now this is taking me a minute, but this is typically what you should do pre-market every day if you're going to do the strategy that I'm about to show you here. So high, low, it opens in between this. I don't know how I missed that. Pfizer, too wide, too wide, too wide, too wide. This is somewhat of a narrowing state, escaping out of the narrow state. So we're going to go ahead and mark this one. And we'll say if the high was there. We're using the 200 period moving average. I don't care about, the low of the day from the prior day. I just care about what that last 30 minutes of trading was. Of course, Apple, I added that here, but it's a little too high of a price for a $50,000 account, unless we want to do the options with this. So we'll just skip over AMD there, go to LI. Somewhat of a narrowing range. The picture of power is clear to the downside. We're starting to approach our 200 period moving average. Let me see how many we got on our list real quick. So I'd say this is enough for right now. Now, while we're doing this back testing, the time sometimes freezes, which is fine, and you can do this 30 minutes, you could do it the night before, but you just want to see what closed and what had a narrow range. And we want to watch the market open. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom up. Whoops, too far. Dang it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom up to right at the market open here and just go. And what we're going to do is just cycle through all these and see where things open. So you can see that this opened way below our box here. I might want to go long on Neo. XOM opened way down there. Might want to go long on that. Might want to go short on Sono. Palantir, this would be a good one to maybe go ahead and look for a short position. We're going to watch and probably not enter until about a minute has passed. Let's see what the Apple one. So Apple, I might go ahead and go short on this one. It opened just below it. Palantir, this is a good bear stick here, so we may go ahead and go long on, or short on that one. We'll go long on this one if it closes above this box, but it's got a nice big bar forming. We're not going to go long on bars that are opposite colors. So like this is a red bar forming right here, even though it's up. Until a green bar takes this out, I wouldn't go long on AMC. BHP opened way down here. I might actually go long on BHP. Costco, I'm going to go long. I'm going to go short probably. But like I said, this is we're going to wait for a red bar to confirm the movement to the downside. This one, I would probably go ahead and go long. But I'm not going to do it on all of these. So let's go back up to this and see here. So we could go ahead and continue to go short with the trend or with that candle. And this one, what is this, Sono? So let's go ahead and open up the active trader here. And we're going to do approximately, I don't understand why it does one there. So we'll do 300 shares of this. We're going to go short. It goes, actually, we'll just go ahead and sell market here. And we're looking for a $12,000 position. We're actually looking to use, so let's just focus on one for real quick. One right now. Palantir looks like a good one. So I would say that if Palantir breaks this, we got about 30 seconds to market open. If Palantir breaks, aggregation's way off, a penny below this, which it already has, I want, this is a $24 stock, and do about 1,000. And bulls are looking to buy it up here. Now I can adjust this, so I'm going to actually adjust this to a little bit more. About 1,000 shares. We're trying to get as close to 25,000 as possible. So if this comes down and breaks through this, we'll get entered. Let's come back and look at some of these other ones. Neo. Now because this opens so far down, I might go ahead and go long. Apple, this would be one to just go ahead and go long. Sono, I'd probably look to go short on that. I'd go long on this possibly. Definitely short on that. All right, so now we are in right here. So now we need to focus our attention on this. So I'm looking for color bar changes. So let's go ahead and minimize this for a minute. Now I'm looking for color bar changes to enter into this. So I'll say probably 200 shares is probably close to half. 300. I'm just getting an idea of what about 12,000 look like in here. It's about right here. So we'll go short an additional 500 shares if the price, if we start seeing a green bar form. So right now we're starting to see that bar form. I would do a penny below that at 24.60. So if this thing drops down to 24.60 there, I'm going to drop out of it. I'm going to add more shares to this. If it comes up above this, I need to put a stop in here for, so right now we have 1,000 shares. We need to put a stop about a penny above this. So about right here to close out our entire position. This is if it goes against us. So now we're just going to let it play out. So what I would do is go ahead and start speeding up 3 times and see what happens, and we'll just play it out like this. So right now we're showing we're down 115 bucks. If we get stopped out here, we'll maybe be down about $200. So yeah, we want to enter a penny below this. We want to see a red bar take out green, and then we want follow through to the downside. The picture of power, you can see that we're about to have a bearish cross on the 200 period and 20 period moving average, and that's what we're looking for. And we're looking for bearish momentum to continue to the downside. Now, the only thing that is concerning is we do have some pretty big wicks here where bulls are buying the dip, but we will let it play out. You know, we've already entered 1,000 shares in here. We're just going to let this play out. We have, you know, we're simulating that we have a $50,000 account, and we don't want to add to it just yet. We have 3 positions. So we have our initial power play of $25,000. Then we have 2 additional plays for the remaining half of the $50,000 and half of that. So we half the remaining 24,000 or 25,000, and you know, we divide that, so we have a $12,500 position times 2. So now we've got filled again. Now we need to either edit this or put a stop. Probably I would do a stop a penny below this right here for an additional 500 shares. So right there, we want to get stopped out of that position. Now we could go ahead and move our initial position to a break even or the closing of this bar here, or we could also get ready to add to this position as well. So if we're starting to see another color bar change, maybe I want to do that final position. I want to add to this final position. We do have this playing at 3 times speed. So this could be a signal to get out, to go ahead and start scaling out, or it could be a signal to go ahead and start adding in. But I'm going to add to this position. So I want to sell an additional 500 shares if the price breaks below this. So we're just going to patiently watch and wait. Now, while we're waiting, we could go ahead and move up our stop so that we at least get some credit on this. So I'm going to move this down here. So now we just got entered again. So now we need to create another stop somewhere. Typically, you want to do it a penny above the prior candle. You don't want to lose more than a candle on this. So now I might go ahead and move up all of my positions. Now I'm going to start looking to scale out. So I have a full position going here. I'm going to look to scale out. So I want to scale out. It's starting to look like the bulls are coming back in here. Maybe 500 shares there. So let's do a stop with 500 shares here. We're starting to catch some resistance. Now we're going to let this position either get stopped out or scaled out. So that's what we're looking to happen right now. So right now we want to scale out of this position if the price drops below this. So we're just going to patiently let it play out. And you know, right now we're only up 65. We're only up 125 bucks. Which doesn't seem right. So we have 2,000 shares. We have 2,000 short shares. We're only up 167, 145 bucks. So now we just got scaled out of our first position. So we can close one of these. We're going to go ahead and close this one out. Let's go ahead and add another one to sell 500 shares down here. Let's move our stops maybe to this area here. And so we're starting to see some bulls buy. Now we have gotten quite far away from the 200 period moving average and the 20 period moving average. So right here we could say, let's just go ahead. If we reach past this, we'll sell an additional 500 shares. And it looks like we are. So there goes another 500 shares. So we can close this one out. And what I'm going to do is divide this into another 500 shares. So let's do that. Now the remaining shares we have is 1,000. So this stop here, we need to actually set this to 1,000. I don't know why I just did that. Oops. So there's 1,000. Set that. And we're going to look to scale out. Now if it breaks below that. Right, so now we have 500 more shares. We need to send this one. We have 500 additional shares. We need to at least create a stop somewhere up here. So we'll say we'll create a stop there, and I will create a stop order down here. And just kind of watch this. We're looking for resistance. So right now we're up $427 for the day. We've profited about 140. We got 500 short shares left. You know, I don't want to take this off. I want to look for that resistance to take this off. So it's down here. Now it's almost 10 o'clock right now. It is August 16th, 9:51. We've made about $470. Nothing fancy. But we've scaled into the position and we've scaled out of the position. And this isn't rehearsed. Like, I just randomly picked a day, August 16th. I built my watch list. All right, so now we're starting to see the bulls step back in. So now maybe I want to go ahead and set a trigger for exit 1 penny below this. And this will exit my position. So there we go. That was our entire position. We made $530. The market has been open for not quite 30 minutes. And that would conclude our day. That would conclude the morning at least. You know, this was watch list creation. You can come over to our monitor tab and see everything we did. We have no more working orders. These are our filled orders. And we made $530 on Peloton. This is with a $50,000 account, scaling in and scaling out.